What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make clear parts for your aftermarket bodies. In this case, I'm using a Jimmy Flintstone body. This is a 1932 Ford chopped sedan from, again, Jimmy Flintstone. And of course, I need some windows for it because obviously Jimmy Flintstone bodies don't come with windows. That's not a case for all Jimmy Flintstone bodies. You can actually use a kit, clear parts from the actual kit to work on a Jimmy Flintstone body, but since this is a chopped sedan and I'm not using any kit as a donor, I'm basically using all 3D printed parts and just box parts for this kit, and of course I don't have any clear parts, so I need to make some. So this is a tutorial on how to do it. And so first things first, I'm getting masking tape and I'm masking off the window. Make sure you get the window frame on there, and just so you can see it, and get the tape on there pretty good so you can see behind it, so you know where you're masking off. And then of course I'm using a permanent Sharpie, in this case a fine tip Sharpie, and just kind of trace the outline of your window so you get a general shape of it. And then after that, then we're going to transfer it over to styrene. Alrighty, so now we got our masking all done and our templates all set and ready to go, and now it's time to transfer over to styrene. So in my case, I'm going to vacuum form these parts, which I'm sure most of you guys are not going to vacuum form these parts. You just want to transfer them to clear styrene. Now evergreen styrene, they do make clear styrene, or in this case clear plastic. So instead what I'm doing, basically don't use styrene sheets. Use the evergreen or any type of clear plastic you prefer, and put the templates on top of that. And then cut the templates out not too close to the edge, because you want to leave a little bit more room, because if you cut more off, you obviously can't replace that and you have to make a new one again. So cut, don't cut very close to the edge, but cut on the outside of it. And of course you can always sand more off, but you can't replace them, like I mentioned. So cut super slow and be easy. And like I said, you can also down the line sand the parts and file them or whatever. The scissors that I'm using is Hobby scissors. I'm not really sure what brand they are, but they cut super fine and they're very sharp and they cut super crisp. Of course you can use X-Acto blade, you get more control of that, but yeah, just cut your parts out and you should have your main part of your clear parts. Alrighty, so now your parts all cut out and you're ready to go. So make sure you test fit your parts. Make sure make sure you didn't cut too much off. If you did, of course you want to make a new one, because clear parts don't have big gaping holes in them. So just test fit them. If they're a bit too big, of course you can always cut more off and sand it off or whatever you gotta do. But for me, they fit perfect, and I want mine to be a little more looser than usual, because again, like I said, I'm vacuum forming my parts, so it's gonna be a little bit more thicker than these parts. so they fit exactly inside, which is perfect, and this is the way I want it to be. But if you're using clear styrene, of course, make sure it's perfect. And like I said, just cut slow. And if you have to cut more, make sure you cut slow and keep going back and forth, because you don't want to cut too much off. And just like I said, just take it easy, go slow, and you'll get it. Now let's go ahead and go to my next stage with vacuum forming. Alrighty, so now I'm ready to start vacuum forming my clear parts. These are the templates we just made, and I figured I might as well show you guys my vacuum form machine I have here. It's by Jane Grain. It's some kind of Chinese brand, I guess. I got it from Amazon. I got it from Prime Day a few months ago. So I'll link this in the description if you're interested. So basically, how a vacuum form machine works is basically you get the machine here. This is a big vacuum down here. This guy right here is a heater that heats up, well, the clear plastic or styrene, whatever you want to use. That heats it up and makes it into like a really soft, like liquidy kind of thing. It kind of almost turns into liquid, but you don't really want that. And then basically move this out of the way, and then this guy, which is this guy, that comes down and it just sucks down that plastic onto the actual part. So let's go ahead and show you how this thing works. So basically, this is the clamp. Right, there's a clamp, and that's where your clear part goes in. So for a clear part, of course, it's going to have some kind of protective film on here to keep it from scratching up. So we're going to peel this out. Alright, so there's our clear part. So basically, I'll try to avoid from touching this, get your fingerprints all over it. And then basically what you do here is you just put it in the clamp, kind of snugs in there. And then you push it down and you clamp it down like that. And then what you do is you raise it up, and there's a couple clamps there. There's the first clamp, and then you can get a little closer to heat up faster right there, but I don't really recommend that because this thing gets super hot. So what we're going to do is I got to figure out which one's the heat, and that is this one. It says heat, and that heats this up. So this is going to take a few minutes, so I'll let this heat up and then we'll come back. Okay, so before we actually have that heat up, it is on, which we can actually start before we actually put the clear part in, which we already did already, but oh well. We can put in our templates. So just kind of evenly spread them out. You obviously don't want them next to each other. You can of course do this when the clamp is down with no clear part in there, but in the way. But we already did that, so we're doing it a harder way. And just kind of evenly spread the parts out, so they're not touching or not near each other. And this is basically how it should look. Evenly spread them out. I could probably use more of the build plate, which I probably will. So we'll just put this one down here more. Yeah. Doesn't have to be perfect, because obviously you're gonna be cutting them out and all that fun stuff. And then this is the heater, which I will come down here and show you. That is the heater, and that usually turns to bright red, which it will here shortly. It is getting heat up pretty quickly, and that's going to heat this plastic up, and it's going to start warping down. And once it starts warping down, that's when you know it's ready. Then what you want to do is turn the heat off, move that out of the way, and then quickly release the latch, and then turn the vacuum on, and it's gonna suck that down to a nice tight seal with no air bubbles into your templates. So very cool. So this is gonna heat up a little bit more, and we'll come back and we'll show you how it works. And as you can see, it's turning red and it's getting pretty hot. And once this is hot, do not touch this for at least a good hour, or put it back in the packaging, because I usually put this back in the original box it came in for storage. Do not do that, because it will literally catch that thing on fire and, you know, burn your house down. So don't touch this, just leave it alone. Put it in a different room or something for a good hour or two, let it cool down, and then you can store it away. Okay, so now we're at a good temperature. We're gonna go ahead and bring it over to the actual clear part, and then it's gonna start warping it down. So as you can see, it is warping it, and it should be peeking down to there. As you see, that's what we're looking for. Alrighty, so now we're at a good point where it's warped down. We're gonna move that out of the way, bring this down, and then and there's our form parts. So basically, you don't want to touch this for, I don't know, I'll read you about this set for about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, because this is still warm and it is still flexible. So if you try to touch it, you're gonna lose your mold, and then you're gonna have to start over again, which you don't want to do. So just keep it in there for a bit. You can turn the fan on a bit more if you want, and it will suck, you know, get the heat out. But just get this out of the way, let this cool down. Don't touch this because that is like literally 100 degrees. So just let that touch and just let that sit there for a bit. Don't move this, don't unclamp it, don't do anything, just let it sit there for a good 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can move it out, which we'll come back and show you. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes, and then we can go ahead and unclamp this bad boy. Then pull that up, and then it should just pull right out. Just be very gentle. You might have to get tweezers or something under there, but no, we got it. Then your temp plates might fall out, but not a big deal. We're all set. And then we can use is just knock out your temp plates. And then there's our beautiful clear parts. And it's nothing new now, just obviously you just gotta cut them out, and from here you can just shape them, follow them, or whatever you can do to order them to get them to fit into this body. So very cool, very neat way. And you know, it's hard plastic. I mean, it's very frigid and it's hard, and then we're all set. And yeah, and we got our clear parts for our 32. And there we have it, guys. There's our vacuum form parts. As you can see, they look pretty good. I cut them out, and I do have to sand them and follow them still, but that's basically about it. And you know, it's just an extra step, and it's pretty cool using vacuum form parts. Of course, you don't have to use vacuum form, especially if you're doing this body style where the glass is basically straight on every single window. You can just, of course, use normal clear plastic. Evergreen, like I mentioned, has clear plastic that you can buy, and I'll link that in the description if you're interested. But this is an extra step and milestone you can go with, and it looks pretty cool, and yeah, more thicker, and you know, it looks more realistic. But alright guys, that's it for this how-to video. I hope you enjoyed, and it helped you. Let me know. And if you have any more questions, please comment down below in the comment section. I can try to help you out from there. But until my next video, guys, I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.